Good evening, everybody. I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Gonna do a quick mic check real quick. You guys will let me know if you can hear me okay. And we're gonna go ahead and get going here. All right. Good evening. Mic check. Mic check. Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody on everybody on oh no, they're not. Can you guys hear me all right? Arkham Dark Side. What's going on, dude? Dirt. Good evening, everybody. All right, so obviously you guys can rewind this. I'm trying to make sure that we do our Sunday lives back on YouTube again. Um, but excuse me. Um, there we go. Okay, nice and well. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. Uh, Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your weekend. Um, Last week was pretty good. A couple of up and downs, but we had some really good trades last week. So, starting off this week, we're going to do the normal thing. We are going to go over our economic data, and we're going to go over our earnings this week, which kind of leads me to a couple of conclusions that I've made for myself, and we'll talk about the. Oh, my mic is no longer, or my uh, camera is not working. Oh, hold on one second, and we lost it. Some reason this thing does not want to work for me. Not sure why. Give me 1 second, guys. The Rizzler strikes again. It's China, dude. Constantly, dude. China is continuously coming after me. All right, well, no face. So anyway, earnings this week and the economic calendar in front of us. I'll cover my watch list and then take y'all's requests. So, starting off this week, we have a lot of fucking data. Excuse my language. Already starting off not so good. But we have a lot of economic data here. Monday, nada, nothing. And I almost thought that we had a 3 day weekend there for a second, but we don't have any economic data, so that it can either be really good for us or could be bad in the sense where we don't actually move in either direction. And that's okay because Monday is typically when I approach the market with caution. Now, going into Tuesday, not a lot as well. We're going to just call that a whatever day. Um, can we even trust the analysis without the face? Do you even know if it's me is the question, you know? Nowadays, you can never be too sure. It's kind of, I mean, I'm a little bothered. Not that I feel it's essential, but I had it all set up. Oh, give me a second here. Yeah, so that's broken. Um, yeah, I don't really know why that's not working. See if we can activate it. Nope. Yep. So sorry, no face today. No faces. I try. You get a new camera. All right. So we're gonna move on. So anyway, Wednesday core CPI month over month, CPI year over year. I expect that data to gap. So Tuesday, And if you guys want to write this down, Ellie, did you steal my notepad? Ellie, you stole my notepad? Okay, well, thanks for being honest. Where's that at? I'm sorry. Ellie stole my damn my notepad here. Thank you guys. I appreciate your patience here. Okay, so anyway, Tuesday is probably going to be the day where I grab a position. Just knowing that we have a bunch of data coming on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be one of those bigger days. And in fact, there's a good chance that if we pick the right direction, IV will also be something that we could look forward to increasing. So Tuesday is equal to swing into data. All right. Now, there's no real point in even covering. You guys know the deal: federal fund rates, FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement. This is all going to more than likely drive volatility. It's going to be relatively rough trading conditions for those of you who are new, but there is money to be made if you're cautious using good risk management. Don't blow your account. Now, finishing that day, I think it would be also right on Wednesday. We'll see how we're set up. On Tuesday, around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we'll look to swing into CPI. Again, I could trade without the data, right? Without looking at any of this. But I know that it coordinates with the chart. So if I see a setup, I'm going to take it knowing that that data is going to amplify that momentum going forward. So I'm excited for part of this week, but don't be surprised if on Monday you don't see me. So I'll show up. We'll be live tomorrow morning. But oh, there I am. Hello. Let me know if I freeze again. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I didn't know I could do that. All right. So anyway, moving forward, that is it for heavy economic data for the week. So I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday finishing off that week, I think will be a relatively good week for trading momentum continuation to whatever side. Now that brings me to our earnings chart where we have hardly anything. Now I have over the course of my career seen how not having earnings or having a small earnings can cause a lack of momentum, right? Big stocks have earnings, drives momentum, or at least that's the excuse. But there's some highlights, I think, here this week. Fuel cell, I mean, it's probably something you could spend $20 on, but it's not something that I would necessarily be amped up to trade. I don't think I'm going to pile in 10 grand into that, but we'll write that one down. Oracle, I'm not even really sure if I want to go into pet meds. Oracle, I think, is probably going to be a highlight. I do enjoy a little bit of Oracle. We'll take a look at that chart. AVGO is typically a big one, expensive contract, so don't think you're going to be able to get away with that shit without it costing. Other than that, I know it sounds like, actually, I skipped Vera Bradley. That one, I mean, honestly, it's hit or miss. I've seen some Vera Bradley movement off of earnings, but otherwise, finishing up the week, it is going to be Adobe, which I actually will might indulge. That one can be expensive as well. But the benefit to Adobe earnings, and the reason why I think that one's going to be the highlight for the week, is because it's on Thursday, and the IV should be, or the excuse me, the contract value should have decreased quite a bit. By the way, if you guys are watching, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. It's been a long time since I said something like that, but also feel free to reshare this. If you guys have anywhere that you feel would be a good place to reshare. 1 second. Alrighty. Now, we'll chart those in just a second. Fuel Cell, Oracle, AVGO, and Adobe. I do want to kind of point out a couple of charts that I am watching this week. I am watching Carvana. This one just kind of came flat down, and you'll notice that if you look back on Carvana, typically it likes to retrace off of those moves. It didn't really build anything until you get down to the 24-hour, where it does have a box and a floor of around 113.18. I found this to be kind of an interesting setup. It's not a huge ripper. Obviously, this channel is just, and it's a pretty messy chart here, but the main thing that I want to point and highlight here is there is a Potter box up above us. There is a channel moving to the downside. So I think that one's either a breakout trade, or if it fails, it'll likely come back underneath that 93.78. Yeah, and if you guys want to start dropping your guys' requests, it doesn't like fly on the chat, so it doesn't get lost. Elf moved up last week and hit cost basis inside of this box and fell back down. It now has a bunch of empty space, so if you are long equity, because I know there's actually more people in the Discord who have bought in this with me, there's a possibility that we will be seeing some downside if we end up losing that 172. And because I am invested in this equity wise, it's one that I'm looking to trade, or rather hedge. Now, this one, has it given me a signal? No, but it does look, it is going to break. Okay. It's going to break. It reminds me of certain areas of consolidation like this, identical. Now, this one moved up, right? So, and when it moved up, it retraced down first to the first level below it, which for us would be around 162. But again, I think this is worth highlighting because Tesla loves to do these heavy consolidation, and then obviously just like any other stock, but this is outside of the norm where you end up having something on the weekly, right? A box like setup on the weekly. Now, when you look at the weekly, again, I think it's pretty obvious. Right now, we're banging off of the 182.80 area on Tesla right here. So that's going to be one of the daily targets, but directly up above that, my main focus is going to be 188.60. So if we break out, make sure to write this down if you're watching Tesla. And I think I said this last week. It's the 188 mark that we're going to be focused on. So put a star by that. Now, same thing again to the downside. We have a weekly candle here off of 169.90, basically 170. If that's lost, there's a good chance that we may be losing the 160, and we could retrace down to the 50% mark of this big ass green candle, and that'd be right around 155. All right. Now, Meta was also on the watch list last week, and I ended up having a pretty successful trade on this one. Now, I want to kind of just take away all of this extra stuff, get down to the brass tacks, or whatever the hell you want to call it. That was a pretty much perfect wick off of cost basis. We have a box directly below us right here. So we have our no-no square, or where we would not want to go, but that would open up a potential short into the structure below us. Now, we also have a pretty solid uptrend, which could allow for this to go up and hit the very top. Now, one thing that I have noted and I am paying attention to is the fact that this right here and this, and I can be wrong, but I just want to throw this out because it is something that I'm debating on. This is an area of consolidation, and this is an area of consolidation. This area refused to go back up and reclaim that 502. So I think there's a good chance that if we break this, that will open up that 518 target. So meta target is going to be the 518.80. Tesla does look really, really juicy. I think that so another thing that we can also look forward to with Tesla is the fact that it has so those of you on YouTube here, like you're anywhere else, what do we think is happening to the contracts that are outside around here and down here? When we consolidate like this, what is the typical outcome of something like that, right? If you don't know, the typical outcome here is that the contract value is more than likely going to decrease, right? Our contract value outside of the money is extrinsic and it relies on us moving up, right? Or breaking up or breaking down. And when you don't do either, it drains the value from either side, which could make this a real, honestly, and I'm not, this is not financial advice at all, but somebody could probably put 10 grand, 5 on each side, and probably make a biggity bag. But my thoughts on this are we have one, oops, uh, yeah, we did make hella bank. Yes, you are correct. So one, two, and then, I mean, I don't know if I want to call that the one. So we could end up going down and then up. But if we go up, then we could go down. So we'll be patient on this one. But there is money to be made on Tesla. There is money to be made on Tesla. So, all right. Cool. All right, now moving on, I want to go ahead and talk about the cues because I know you guys are probably itching to know. Obviously, weekly time frame, all-time highs. If we look at the daily, this is where, again, I can't tell you what happens above the highs except for new highs and psychological numbers. But I can tell you what we're bouncing off of and what we have underneath us. So the same thing that we just punched back over on the weekly or on the 24-hour, which was that 456.80. I think a lot of you ended up getting a big trade with me on that punch back over the daily. But this thing came back down, retraced. It is possible that it comes back down and fully retraces to the top of that 459.36. So that's something that I'm kind of watching going into this week. I am still acknowledging the channel type setup that we have here, which has basically 470 locked in as a potential target to the upside. So, all right. For the most part, I have things like Shopify that look pretty interesting. And then, hold on one second. Let me pull this up really quickly. SQ is another one, and I'm not sure if anybody was able to get this one with me. It did end up moving up. It came right back. It came right back down, and it does not have much structure. So I think either A, we are going to be building that structure, and I can't really see that just yet. I am looking at the 4-hour where we have a channel, kind of a violent channel, and that looks like it has been broken. But the main focus here for me is that we have a Potter box down below us. So we're watching a bounce off of 64.70 and or 64.14. If that breaks, SQ is going to keep moving down. All right. If anybody has any questions on those, let me know. But otherwise, if you guys have requests, feel free to go ahead and drop those now inside of the chat. Let me know what you're watching this week. I'm going to go grab my drink. Now I think I said the last week, I believe we had a close at like 57.66. So I don't know if you guys remember. We're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to do this from the floor down. We'll go ahead and just do it from the top of that candle just to see. Yeah, well past that 50% mark. Okay, so I mean, I feel like CVS is going to go to 64.50. Period. End of story. We'll go ahead and so remember those of you guys who are with me, in the Discord. When we go to the weekly here, we keep it simple. So 64.50 is your next target to the upside. And then we go move down to the 24-hour where we try to look for some sense of clarity. Now, let's go ahead and see. I don't know if there's a channel there. That could be the channel. Okay, so I think that's worth considering. Now, that's not a box, but I do know that we did break through this one. So that's really all I got on the 24-hour. I'm going to go back down. Okay, so now we have a box, and that box is right here. So if I am correct, I would be watching for a potential leg down. I don't know how I feel about that one. I think it's actually right here. Yeah, so I would be watching for underneath 59.96, and to break strong, you need to break with volume over $62 where you can continue moving up. But if you're going to move up in a healthy, normal fashion, remember, this could, don't be biased. If you do break down here, that could open up a really nice trade into this empty space and maybe even down here to go touch support. So interesting support or interesting setup there on CVS. Obviously, big push to the upside is needed to start off this next week or gap up. All right. What's up, everybody who's just joining us here? All right. So I see Google. Okay. So I do remember drawing this channel here, and then you had this one. Now you fell back into that channel. So let's go ahead and rewind and step back out. Okay, so we're going to just look for clarity here. The bottom floor is 172.36. It looks like we don't have any double wicks off of anything. On the weekly, I like to look at these. If you have a second high like this, and there's a good chance that there's a channel forming there. Any upside channel, we'll leave that alone for now. So back down to the 24-hour. I don't think that's a box. Yeah, man, whew, boy. Listen, that, sheesh, damn. Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. This actually, I'm not one to like call for a short, but if that is, ooh, shit. Okay. Yeah, so right now I think it is just absolutely necessary for you to get above that 178 mark. Now, how you do that, we're probably gonna have to go down into a lower time frame to figure it out. But on the 24-hour time frame, you've kind of just banged down, and I would say anything underneath 173.66, you could be looking at a leg down, and if that's the whole channel, we could be looking at a retracement all the way back to there, and that's 159.55. That's possible. Now let's go to the 4-hour. Now the 4-hour is a little messy here. Hold on one second. Okay, so I mean that's just it, and I think I stand by. Yeah, so 100% stay away from 173.50. If that is lost, you have another floor directly underneath you, and that's going to be that 169. If that's broken, I have a good feeling that we will be legging down much further. Nike. Okay. So the floor that you needed to grab, you were unsuccessful in fully grabbing on the 24-hour time frame. so now it basically, so this is where things get a little bit yucky, right? And typically sometimes you, if you do not have enough momentum, you're going to end up chopping right in here or building sideways. So weekly time frame says that you in fact did break out of your range and you still have a target that is at $100.65, which is also a potential punchback, right? Now, this is also worth noting. You have a floor right there that you bounce off of. So 1, 2, and I think that if this, even if this was a range, hold on one second. I don't like that. I don't know how I feel about that one. Let me go to the monthly really quickly. Monthly. I have a good feeling, y'all, that if you can continue moving up, it's going to be above $100, and then it's going to be a move up to that 111.24. So, looking at the 24-hour again, I would just say keep building. Let's see if we can find something on a lower time frame. All right, 2 levels to watch out for next week is going to be 95.71, 95.71, and you tap that floor perfectly on the 24-hour. And so that's where you're going to need to keep pushing out above. I think it's just as plain as that. All right, beam. We got 60 or 60 viewers and only 12 likes. So if you guys, well, if you like the stream, drop a like if you don't mind. Trying to get back with the YouTube. All right, beam looks like it's actually retracing back down where you have a box. I can see this down below you. It's yeah, over below the video. Below the video is where you hit that like button. All right, gross. 24-hour time frame, beam cost basis 2250, and then you've also built a box directly up above you, just like that. So kind of a toss up here. I think the best thing would be to find some sense of trend. So look for, yeah, look for a bounce off 2230 or a breakdown below that. You did end up losing that floor though on Friday. So, all right, Adobe. Yeah, so this is, we'll go ahead and chart this if you guys are planning on doing this. Ooh, okay, hold on. All right, cool. Now, this is something I'll definitely look at potentially taking. Now, it does have empty space. I see some empty space up here. And then what I'm really looking for is trend. All right, so I'm putting a price target of 551 to the upside, 551.50 to the upside on AVGO. I'm also looking at the fact that we've reclaimed the floor. Floor 461. And then to the downside, where did you bounce off of? And that'll let me know, right? If we fall, what would we end up losing? We would end up going all the way to 387. So down 387. And yeah, so I mean that's what I see right now on the weekly time frame. It let me look at the monthly real quick. Yo, get fucking real, dude. That's crazy. All right, come on. So if these are these little things, that is a monthly fucking chart, guys. There is no, you guys are the only people on this planet, as far as I know, who know how or know about this particular phenomenon. That's pretty cool, I have to admit. So again, let me go ahead and just rewind here. So first target. All right, so I'm going to put two targets for AVGO outside of that one. I'm also going to put a 505 target as well. If that pulls all the way up, we could see 590. If that was to break out, now that would also be something where hopefully we could see. Ooh, hold on a second. Is it big channel up? I don't know. We'll see. I think this is one of those ones where I may take both sides. Jesus Christ. Oh man, that's crazy. What a crazy chart. I like that for earnings though. I might take the position on I don't know. I might take the position on Tuesday after the big pump and pumpy dumpy. All right. I'll do SPY. I done QQQ. You can rewind if you want to. All right, so let's take a look at SPY, and this is just basic. You're going to hear the same thing out of me when it comes to Qs. So whenever you break out, you want to retest. You did exactly that. Now, I don't see any green candles on the 24-hour chart, which is typically not my favorite thing in the whole world. Let's see if this is anything worth noting. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I will do this. Okay, so that was the box, if you will, that we broke out from. And then let's go down to the 4-hour really quick. So now we have more of an interesting setup on the 4-hour. So this is definitely going to be a 4-hour play. PotterBox SPY floor will be 5:34:15. The pullback, and now that we're on the 4-hour, this is going to be down just a little bit, and we've already tapped it one time. So I think I think that's, again, something worth noting is we pulled back, we bounced, popped back up, and then made a slight new high and then retraced right back down. We're also underneath this very first, or right at that very first red candle. So I would say that the best case scenario is that we just bounce where we're at, but there's a good chance that we could even see. But my thoughts are there's empty space down here, and there's a move to 528 to the downside. Did I say AVGO? I did. I did say AVGO. Adobe. And I wrote that all next to fucking AVGO. Thank you. Look at that. Without you guys, there's a symbiotic relationship here. Good God. My notes look crazy. That's all right. A little dyslexia never hurt anybody. All right. Except for maybe at stop signs. Game. Oop, that's came. All right. Anyway, you're fucked. Oh, you're fried. You're fried. Listen, I'm not. I don't like seeing people, but my fucking God, did the analysis and forgive my feed here, but I think here on, yeah, I literally posted this. It's on June 6th. Tap tap, and then bam. So we're back down. I think, dude. I mean, if this plays out accordingly and we end up legging down and hitting 2110, I think we'll end up fucking. I don't know. They might fucking sink this shit and have it down at like $3. I'm not saying that's. I think right now there's a decent chance of fucking doing something like this and going and hitting that for a third time. So that's my thoughts right now. Question: should I take out a second mortgage on game calls? That's on you, baby. All right. So let's do CLSK. Okay, now that looks fucking short. I don't know why, man. I want to short that shit. That's immediately what hit me. Short. Technical analysis says short. Let me explain why. Now we have the 1, we have the 2, we also have 1, 2, 3, right? And this has been a difficult leg down. You also have a box right here. Cost basis right there, and that's what you're currently being held under. I think a target of 1446, but also look at the cost basis wick. So I mean, this thing has been chopping around, but there is a fuck ton of empty space all the way down to $8. And if we drop a top right there, I think that is probably a long-term short. Talk to me in about a month, and let's see. I know that's a really far. That's an $8 drop, or $8 is the drop right there. 870 is my target, but that's fucking ridiculous. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so yeah, there seems like there's a $11, 1104 would be a target. One of the first targets. Oh, hold on. Okay, so it would probably be 1450, 1371, and then $11. I think that would be something I'd take out till September. I don't know why, but that's immediately what hit me. I'd have to take a look at let's take a look at these contracts. I'm not going to pull it up on my screen here, but um, you can pull it up on your phone. Let's um all right. So CLSK September 100 days out. $8 puts are $45. 8 put 45 30, and then for something more exciting, I think July 12th. Damn, the spread's wild on that one, but 12.5 would be my first put right there on CLSK. Interesting setup on that one. I use TradeStation. All right, so Rivian is next. Now Rivian did break out of that, so let's go ahead and just restart all of this. All right, now difficult. Interesting. Okay, so I think this one's pretty clear. Now, it doesn't look like it's having a really good time escaping because the target up above is 12 and $13. And then obviously you have a lot of empty space. That empty space doesn't have to get filled right now. But I would say that right now, 24-hour time frame. Let's look at the weekly real quick. Okay, so the weekly is trying to push through. Yeah, that's it. So that doesn't really make anything clearer at all. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, so box cost basis is 1140. Wrong. It is 1115 at the floor, so that makes 1130 cost basis. And then you have a major structure underneath you here. And so I would say right now, and I would also mark this out. Funny how that always works out. So a 1040 if you end up coming back down, and then on a lower time frame, yeah, I knew that was going to look exactly like that. So yeah, so right now you have kind of a difficult road ahead. You really do need a momentum pop. So it's gonna. I think it's the only thing that's really gonna help that bleed back up is something in the sector moving back up, but it's 1150, and then after that it's going to be 1168 or 1165. Um, let's see here. Um, Cisco. That one's inconclusive. I don't really like that chart. I mean, I should start rating charts 1 out of 10, so that way you guys just know how I feel about it. That looks fucked. Weekly. All right, well, you are there, and that is the last bounce level before shit gets really wild. And I would imagine you'll hit $40. Obviously, paying respects to the channel that we're in as well, which that could probably be cleaned up a bit as well. So I would say right now, oh, I mean, that's a tough call, but you got a giant wick coming off of that floor. Yeah, that you are at the precipice, as I like to say. So retest off of that floor there at 4760 and a breakdown below this. It would also, oh, wow. So this is how this play is going to go here. PotterBox. Look at the, dude, this shit gives me a stroke sometimes. I look at the fucking bounce. I mean, it is mechanical, y'all. Crazy. Bounce right off of that cost basis. That's 4460. So if you break down below that, you've got empty space all the way to 4220. All right, so let's keep moving. Starbucks weekly channel. It looks like you've wicked up. You got real close to that floor there. Close. You might be exhausted. Let's see. Okay, so as from what I can tell here, and this does not look good right now for if you're a buyer, but you have a floor. Oh, meeting notes. You have a floor right there. Yeah, so anything underneath, it's really clear here. Anything underneath 80.77, and you will be retracing back down to $79. Um, at the same time, you're also building a box. So even if you did fall back down, you would then have a floor and a Potter box to end up coming back up too. So leg down, bounce 50% is 70, basically $80. Hopefully you get hopefully you don't get a retest. Hopefully you fall straight down and retest that $79 mark and then come back up to go all the way up into that 87. So that's what I see right now on Starbucks. I'm into it. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I actually thought Intuit looked pretty good with Cade. Intuit just needs a leg over today's Friday's high, which is 576, to leg up to go to the 593. And that's INTU. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at on that one. A little bit of an uptrend here. So that would be the 50% mark. So 582 and 593 are the two targets on Intuit. Let's see, what else do we have? Adobe, AMC. AMC just looks exactly, and I actually called this price target out to a literal T. The bottom right here at 690, and then you have the sell wall under there. So I'm starting to think that you are going to be legging down. You have a gap to fill right here at 436, and then a floor to bounce off of at $4. Otherwise, from there you will be falling lower. So it's a tough call. Honestly, you still have this that you could potentially actually. So I might actually do that. That's not much of a box. That is the box. So I'd actually more or less be looking for a break under 463. But that's what I see. Man, so much great information. My brain might pop. Don't let that happen, baby. What's up, honey buns? All right. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, What do we got? What do we got left? FTPX. What the fuck? That's not a real ticker. Feet pics, you fucking bastard. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe I let this happen to me every single week. That's crazy. All right. Yeah, that's a good ticker. You'll love that one. All right. Anyway, so let's see what else do we got. You're crazy, bro. I fell for feet pics in the same like hour. It's not good. UPS. Yeah. Take a look at UPS. All right. So, what's the story? The floor, which was apparently 133, you bounced back up. You recovered nothing. Well, I guess you recovered that floor. You came right back down and retested it. So, not a great bounce, not a great follow through from UPS, but you still have a little bit of consolidation here. So, we'll look at the 24 hours since we don't really have a conclusion there. All right, now the conclusion here. Conclusion, shut your mouth. All right, so that is 139.42. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the wall. That's 139 on the dot. Our floor. Listen, stop overcomplicating your charts. That is all you need to know, right? That's all. That's it, right there. If you're looking to play this to the upside, and again, this is one of the setups, I'll take it every time. Anything above that 179 or Friday's high, I'll go ahead and shoot my shot. Now, it does look like it could come back down and get. Now, I don't like that you've done the 1-2-3 thing. You say 1-2. If this comes back down, bounces, I'd take it, maybe try to take it there and try and leg it back up off that. But anything underneath that floor, so. So Sam Henson, Ivy doesn't work on the weekends. Once she gets comfortable and we get the Discord organized, then I'll probably end up hiring somebody else with a different schedule. Somebody who starts on Sundays and maybe just takes Friday, Saturday off. So we'll figure it out as we go. She's also working through the PotterBox workshop right now, so she's got a lot on her plate. SMCI. Um, in consolidation. So the only thing I can say is if you are looking at SMCI, maybe look for a bounce next week. So I don't think it looks terrible. 1, 2, 1, 2. So hopefully you can go eat that empty space up and go take a leg back up to 847. I'll give you two levels to watch. 830 and 845. Am I ready for a market crash? Whenever the market's ready. I honestly I don't think we want that, but you know. Most people, even if they want a market crash, miss it anyway. Nvidia still I honestly think this one's probably gonna do something like that and end up popping back up again. But it still has empty space. And the way that I think this is gonna play out is I think that, and I'm looking at this on the 4-hour, but you have a box here essentially. Now, anything popping out above that, you're just going to simply go and hit that wall, right? And this is probably going to set you up to do something like this. I'm not calling for a reversal outside of that, but 24-hour, yeah, nothing look great there. Weekly, not going to get much from that. So I think right now it's probably something you can go down. Okay, so you guys, now I can give you some analysis because it wasn't super clear, but now I can see going down to this lower time frame much clearer. So I am correct, and I do feel very confident. If you're a NVIDIA trader, this is where I'd be watching. I see a pop up, a tap of that 1240, and then I'm not going to call it there, but I would be kind of anticipating a potential rejection to drive us down to that second support. So right now, here's your box. And you need to be outside of the 12.15, 12.16 mark. So I don't know. Oh, the split. Oh, shit. It split on Monday. Yeah, I could see a pop and a drop for sure. I could see a pop and drop. Any plans for the small account? Yeah, guys. Listen. It is, and I know that other traders do the small account challenges, but when you trade for money and like you trade because like this is how I literally live every week, every month, every year. Um, if I see a big trade set up, it's my instinct to go with my regular account. But I am, and I have it written on my desk, or not on my desk, but I have it written on this pad. I'm looking at some potential small account trades on some risky shit. But again, we're trying to prop up a small amount of money and hopefully turn it into something we can work off of some. Oh, don't worry about paying me back, man. I make plenty of money. Um, all right, so let's take a look at Uber weekly. Yeah, we updated this week. Uber looks okay. It looks okay. It doesn't look crazy, but ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, so I am seeing a Uber target of $71, 24-hour time frame. Ugh. Yeah, so this one could get a little funky. Let's see here. Okay, I mean, maybe that's a weird pop, right? A weird, and honestly, it's not even a box. For me, okay, so where did we stop? We stopped right here. 4 hour. There it is. Okay, so watch 70-30 and 71-50 as your next targets up to the upside. But do remember you have now built empty space underneath you with your box being all the way down there. So it's something where you got to keep that momentum going. And if you are looking to short Uber, or if it does come back down, the market pulls back, I'd be watching a loss of $68 here. On the 4 hour, 68.62. I'm sure you're just another person. I know, I mean, pretty much everybody who has spoken to me. I mean, I remember them. I don't, you're not nobodies to me, or like cut, it matters to me whether you make it or not. And if you do, it makes me fucking, stupendously happy. It's actually one of the best feelings in the world. Make a difference in somebody else's life. Yeah, that's probably it's one of the only things that makes this gratifying, because trading for money is one thing. The stock market in itself is just a rough place to be anyway. So being able to derive some good out of it is good. I think I saw that, man. I might have to screenshot that and tweet it though. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I appreciate that. If you guys, I'm trying to be more active on Twitter, so if you guys want to show some love on Twitter once you hop off here. All right. Yeah, I saw that Las Vegas Sands trade, man. Ah, bad pilots. I got you, brother. Trying to bros. Now I like bros. I like my bros. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a good picture. Right now on the 24-hour, we're staying above 37.80. That's our sell wall. We got empty space down below, right? So now we go to the 4 hour here. There's our box down below. There's our retest level. And if we do drop underneath that 37.80, we will. Now, we also have a Potter box up above us right there. We also have a Potter box right here that we broke out from. And so, yeah, if we end up, that would be where I would be looking to the downside anyway. Now let's go to the weekly is at this wall. And I love bros past 30, basically $40. But I will say it's a tough call right now, but you are outside of this weekly range here. So the only other target would be $48. So bros to, I'll write that down because that could pick up some momentum. I like maybe, I actually thought about, I'm actually looking at equity in that one. All right. Now let's look at Netflix. All right, weekly chart is desperately trying to avoid a weekly candle close below that mark, which is 635.90. So that's two weeks in a row. Now let's get rid of all of that and let's take a look. Now it's almost a money bounce there, but let's chart that up and there we go. And you even have a little bit of rocket fuel down here at the support mark. So it's really important that we probably don't come back down. Now, do we have this wide fluctuation in price? Damn, that looks fucking perfect. Damn, that looks scary. And damn, I might be right on that one. Okay, so obviously, you know, I mean, yeah, damn. That shit actually looks pretty legit. Okay, so tentatively, I'm going to say there's a potential here with a second high right there for you to potentially make a leg down. Now, right now, it is avoiding a close underneath that 638 or rather 629. So that's going to be, this is where basically I would say, you know, that's a good short. You are in range right now. So anything outside of 658.40 and you're long. So with my analysis, obviously, if I was to put a stamp on this, I would say it's in range, but has potential to come right now with catalyst here and here to go down into that empty space. And I could see if the market pulls back pretty hard, I mean, and we'll see how that plays out. We could see 580. I mean, maybe all the way down there, jumping back up. But and then obviously on the weekly, we know what we're dealing with, right? We have that floor up there. And I told you guys the last time we charted this that this is a pickle. We're stuck in between two ranges. So it is, there is neither a, I can't say. I do know where I would react and why. So all right. Crowd is added to the S&P 500. That's probably pretty good. Weekly time frame. This actually kind of reminds me of NVIDIA. Massive chart. Big red candle on the weekly. We'll leave that for now. 24-hour. Damn. Yeah, so in after hours, that fucked the shit up. Okay, so listen, if you are looking to long crowd above Friday's highs, and I would be looking to take it past that 380 wick or 379.50 wick and go ahead and take it up into the 400s. I mean, you got a strong rip and dip. So that's what I'd be looking at on crowd. So I mean, it looks good. 4-hour time frame. I would go ahead and say A, yeah, 371.45, and then B, stay above 360.92. So make sure you write those down. And you can watch this video back. So, all right, Snap. Wow. Okay, so Snap is directly at resistance. This is one of the reasons why we could be looking at a potential leg down. 1, 2, 3. This is the punch over 1580 weekly time frame. Yeah, it looks like you're trying to make. Listen, hold on. I'm gonna write that down because I'll take that one down. Not necessarily up, but if it does trigger down, um, definitely 100% below that 1478. And then right now we're gonna watch basically $16. So you did break outside of that range. Hopefully you drive sellers out. You need to reclaim the floor right here of 1555. So 1555, and obviously we can start looking at a potential upside play. Um, but there is empty space down below as well. So all right, now I hate that not a lot of these are like triggered. A lot of them are set up but not triggered. Um, and I think that you guys should remember that this week and remember to be out on higher time frames. Please don't be doing some reckless shit this week, especially if you guys are inside of my Discord, which I think the majority of you guys are. All right, so it looks like that's about it. Las Vegas Sands, I did that one. I did crowd PLTR, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. All right, so weekly time frame, we have a 1, 2, 3 setup on PLTR. We also have a big red candle here at 2440, and that is where we need to see a breakout from PLTR. That is a weekly breakout. Your floor here, right? So it's perfectly set up. There's going to be a little Potter box underneath that big ass candle right there. So I think it is absolutely essential that we break over that mark. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a price target on PLTR of $31.90 or $32. I like that setup as well. PLTR. And obviously, that's something on the 24-hour that I would like to see just break cost basis. So let's see what the 24-hour channel. So maybe 25.85. 25.85 would be the break point there. All right, hold on. I actually do like BA. BA closed at a cost basis for me, or around cost basis, empty space to 198.80. Stay above this mark right here at 187. I'll also be watching BA this week as well. All right. This is a hard stock to trade. If you ever trade General Mills, it is a pain in the ass. Range bound. Range bound. Okay, so I can see that's the channel. So obviously anything under 66.20, I'd be looking for 64, but I think you need to flip it and reverse it. There you go. So now on the 24-hour time frame, let's see, we have a temporary downtrend there. We have a Potter box up. Okay, so stay. I mean, I really can't say anything else except for get above 69 and stay above 66. All right, this concludes the Sunday charting session. Obviously, I think this week, listen, my job is not to entertain. My job is to teach you guys how to be profitable traders, and leading by example is also one of the things that I try to do. So I know some of you are probably like, why is Garrett leaving? You know, or why did he just disappear? Well, you'll notice that typically when I disappear, the market's chopping. And it's not because I disappeared, but I'm disappearing because the market is chopping. So if Monday opens up and we just fucking go flat, I'm out. I don't give a fuck. I'm out. And you guys should probably have, or probably should incorporate some of that discipline. That is me keeping myself away from losing money. So save your money for the more volatile times coming towards the end of the week. So, but I appreciate all of you guys watching. Make sure to like this video before you leave. Go show some love on my profile if you guys don't mind. Just go throw some likes up there. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on Discord. Otherwise, have a good weekend. No problem. Y'all have a good week. I'll see you guys on tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. No problem. Peace.